Hello and welcome to the implementation and analyzation portion of my research project. Again, the question that guided my research was, does the implementation of blogs, and more specifically Weebly, lead to improved motivation, engagement, and writing skills for expository writing of 8th grade students? In this portion of the project, I will explain how I implemented the new technology, the response generated from my students, the results of the project, some of the successes and challenges I faced as I was conducting and completing this project, as well as how my project aligned with the academic scholarship portion of my research. So to begin, I had students complete an initial assessment using paper and pencil to display the expository abilities. Once students completed their initial assessments, I gave their projects a numerical value for each aspect displayed on the rubric provided here. So the main focus of the question and what I wanted to see through the rubric was engagement, motivation, there was a main idea, and that they were able to explain details. So after I analyzed and evaluated their initial assessments, the students began creating their blogs through Weebly to display their expository skills again. Once this task was complete, I again added a numerical value to their finished projects using the same rubric. After I evaluated each project using this rubric, I compared and analyzed the results, which provided me with essential information to help answer my research question. Now on to the response of the students and kind of the successes and challenges that I faced. So the students responded very well to each project. They were very engaged in each aspect of the project, and they enjoyed explaining an idea they generated on their own, while displaying it not only to the class through the paper and pencil portion, but also to the world as well through their blogs. As students enjoyed completing both aspects of the project, there was a noticeable difference in engagement using blogs over paper and pencil. Overall, the aspect of engagement and motivation had the most observable difference in my results. So as you can see here, there was generally a gain in the majority of the students for engagement while using blogs. The expository skills of stating a main idea and explaining details, which I have the main idea graph up here, so we'll just leave it here. And here are the details portion. There was no significant or observable difference between these two aspects for the student samples examined. So as previously stated, after examining the results of my research, the largest observable difference was encompassed in the aspect of engagement and motivation, which is displayed in this graph here. Students were engaged and motivated to create content in which the world is able to observe and see. But the challenges arose in the actual expository portion of this project and my question. So one of the most substantial challenges arose from my students' ability to grow and improve their abilities to clearly articulate an idea. One of the main things that I found from this was that the rubric did not provide much room for feedback or growth if the student met all the requirements of the proposed assignment. So if they clearly articulated a main idea in one portion of their project, they generally clearly articulated it in the other portion of the project. I had similar findings in the details as well. There was no significant or observable difference in these two aspects, and So that is one of the challenges, or a few of the challenges that I saw. So possibly rethinking how I structured this rubric to allow for more growth and improvement and kind of more personalized feedback that would benefit everybody in the end. The final aspect that I will talk about is how the implementation of this technology aligned with my findings from the literature. To begin, I'll start with just the ISTE standards, or the International Standards for Technology in Education, and the SAMR model for classroom practices. So to begin, the project incorporates just about every standard for the ISTE outline. The two that I really wanted to focus on were communication and creativity, which are also 21st century skills. We did not quite get to the communication portion as we did not quite have enough time, but students were able to display their creativity in various forms of media. So the creativity led to engagement, which kind of aligns with these standards. Through the SAMR model, I wanted to cover the redefinition aspect of the SAMR model, which the blogs allow us to do. So instead of having a finite or minute audience in which the students are displaying their works to, they are able to display them to the world, and everybody can see them and comment and provide feedback through that way. So after those two, after the standards and the models, one of the main ideas in which I generated or got off the right foot for was the movie Moving Beyond Brainstorming, which allowed students to kind of choose their own topics, and that is an aspect that I allowed students to do because I didn't want to spend a whole lot of time having them research and generate background knowledge for the project. I just wanted them to pick up and go where they could and go as far as they possibly could without doing extra research. This also deterred the kind of aspect brought up by Johnson in improving student expository writing. When students kind of say they have nothing to write about, giving them the option to write about anything that they want, even things that they make up, is essential to kind of increasing engagement for students to complete this project. The final alignment with my literature that I would like to discuss is Ramaswamy's discussion in The Pros of Blogging and a Few Cons Too, where he discusses that blogs are never entirely finished, which I view as an excellent viewpoint because after this research project has been concluded, students and I will still be able to build their expository writing skills as they continue on through the year. So these blogs will always be present for them and for me and for the world to see. So they are never going to be completely finished, which will be excellent because then I will have some sort of basis to kind of show growth throughout the year. So all in all, this portion of the project covered how I implemented the new technology or the blogs into my classroom, the response generated from my students, the results such as the successes and challenges I faced while completing this project, and the final aspect that we hit on in this portion of the project was the alignment of my academic scholarship portion with the implementation of technology. So that is all. I hope you enjoyed. There's one more aspect of this project to check out, and once that is it, the project has been concluded. Thank you and goodbye.